So, thank you everybody for joining. Dottie, thank you. Linda, Kay, Judy, great to see y'all. Library people, good to see y'all. I've tried something different today, so the light's not quite so much behind me, which I hope makes it a little bit easier for everyone to see without us having to turn on the big overhead lights, and so the cameras can get it without it just being a shadow. But let's first, we'll just take a few breaths so that we can feel that we're grounded and in the moment before we start to kind of go over what today's class will be like. But give yourself permission right now. Just find your place on your mat. Find your breath. Well, thank you all for being here. What we're going to go over today is a little bit about how core engagement, or using your Uddiyana Bandha, the wonderful web of muscles that go from your pubic bone to your hip points to your navel, about how by engaging those muscles in virtually every single pose that we do, improves your balance. It improves the safety of the movement, and it also helps to draw from your front side body strength and allow the alignment of your back side body to remain better integrated. In other words, you'll be able to keep your scapula down your thoracic spine and reduce the amount of curve in the lower lumbar spine by engaging your lower abdominal muscles, your Uddiyana Bandha. And by engaging those lower abdominals, you'll find that not only is your practice a safer practice, your practice also will help you to get the most possible out of each movement. When we engage the lower core, it helps us to stimulate our internal organs better. It helps us to maintain proper bone-on-bone alignment, and it also allows you to draw in and up, pressing the diaphragm against your lungs when you're exhaling. And proper exhalation is really one of the key foundations to your yoga practice, because it helps you to take stronger breaths. And it allows you to stay oxygenated better, obviously, but it also allows you to have a more productive breath where you're expelling more of the CO2, inhaling more oxygen, and therefore improving the overall health of every facet of your body. And so that'll be the key element of today's practice. The movements for today's practice will pretty much be movements that you're very used to, but we're going to really lock in on, no pun intended, this is called your lock, lock in on keeping, one of your three locks, lock in on keeping that Uddiyana Bandha engagement, so that you can feel how it will transition into your practice, not just here on the mat today, but when you're doing home practice. If you want to keep your home practice maybe simply 3 or 7 different poses, by engaging your core in that manner, you can transition from asana to asana with more ease. And also you'll find that even if perhaps you don't have time for a full 30, 45, 60 minutes worth of home practice, even just that 7, 10, 14 minutes that you do, you'll get a lot more out of the practice itself. Let's return again to those 3 breaths that we were using to help us find our center and find our intention for your practice today. It might be putting your mind at ease. It may be becoming more connected with your body. And it might be just that you need an hour. It's all about connecting outside world do exactly what it's doing right now. And just knowing that when you go back into it, you're going to go back into it stronger mentally and physically, and able to take your part in the greater community of this world with a little bit more joie de vivre, a little bit more of perhaps a sense of being able to appreciate instead of worry. That's at least personally what my practice helps me a lot of times, is to navigate the difference between helping and worrying. And those two overlap sometimes, but the practice really helps to keep those in their proper place. Find your sit bones, the ischial tuberosities at the base of your pelvis, and then work your shoulders back so that you roll the shoulder blade, and then pull the shoulder blades toward one another and down your back. This will help you to lift your sternum, and then you want to make sure that your earlobes line up with the little hollow in your collar here. And what you might find will work nicely is to slightly tuck your chin and then press the back of your head toward the wall behind you. Then press the crown of your head toward the ceiling. It may feel a little unnatural at first, but then let yourself just relax into it. Relaxing your tongue and lips. Let yourself just glide into your practice today. Inhaling through your nose. Exhaling through slightly parted lips. And then inhaling, staring at a focal point, and exhaling with just a little bit of a turning up of the sides of your mouth. Inhaling for your focal point, and then as you exhale, relax the focal point, slight turning up of the edges of your mouth. One more. And then inhale again for length. Exhale, rotating to your right, turning toward the window wall if you're in the studio. Chin over your right shoulder, left shoulder rolls, and then pull your left shoulder away from your left jaw. Inhale back to center and exhale to the opposite direction. Chin going over your left shoulder, right shoulder rolling. Inhale back to center. And exhale, rotate. Now this time, take a nice slow breath in and exhale with a yawn. That'll help to clear your sinuses and your ears. Inhale to center. Exhale, rotate. Inhale again, and exhale, yawn. Inhale back to center. Exhale, rotate. Our last time rotating in this direction for this series. And this time, let your eyes gently shut, and then draw an extreme focus to your right temple. Pull that focus down to your right jaw, and then the tip of your chin. Slide your focus to the tip of your nose, in between your eyebrows, and out the top of your head. Inhale back to center, and exhale in the opposite direction. Chin going over your left shoulder, right shoulder rolling back and down. Eyes gently shutting, and then pull the focus to your left temple, sliding down to your jaw, and then the tip of your chin. Across your lips to the tip of your nose, between your eyebrows, and then out the top of your head. A few little blinks. And come back to center again, crossing your legs in the opposite direction. And those, the instructions to help with the eye movement, that brings blood flow to the entire retinal region within your eye. And that helps you to increase your depth perception and your peripheral vision when we have really good blood flow there, which makes your practice easier and makes the roundabout a little bit easier too. Roll your shoulders and exhale, pressing your spine toward the wall behind you, pulling your pubic bone towards your navel and dropping your shoulders. Now this is a perfect opportunity to focus on your lower abdomen. So when you exhale this time, really focus on pulling that pubic bone towards your navel and slightly pressing your sacrum toward the floor behind you. Chin tucks, crown of your head pulls to the wall in front of you, shoulders drop away from your ears. From seated cat, we'll transition to seated cow, inhaling to draw your navel to the wall in front of you as though it were attached to a tether, slowly pulling it forward, and then lift your chest and chin. Shoulders slide away from your ears. Eyes cross, nice big yawn. Inhale back to center. Shoulders slide up to your ears, pinch back, and slide down. Right fingertips come down to the ground, left comes through the center line, left shoulder drops, and pull. Now, ever so slightly, press into those right fingertips and open up your left side body just a little bit. Feel how that gets into your intercostal muscles. And sweep your arm over, pulling your hand through the opposite side, dropping your shoulders, and pull, and then push into your fingertips so you open up your right side body. And sweep in the opposite direction. Interlace your fingers behind your back, and now roll your shoulders back and down. And one thing that you want to ensure with this, if you can see, sometimes when people pull their arm back, they pull it back like this and actually rotate the shoulder forward. What you want to make sure is that you're pulling it back like that and opening up the pectoralis major and minor. That's going to improve blood flow through your brachial artery and make your hands ever so happy. Nice big breath in as we just stretch our chest. And then on your exhale, once again, engage your lower abdomen. Feel your lower back release just a little bit. Let your arms sweep up overhead and pull and center and pull and center. Hands come to heart center. Twist and center. Twist and center. Next asana we'll go into is child's pose, an extended child's pose, which means you'll bring your arms out nice and long. And when we're in child's pose, really focus once again on engaging your lower abdomen. That's going to help you to release tension from your lower back, which is one of the reasons why child's pose is the best pose for relieving lower back pain. But if you don't engage your lower abdomen, sometimes we tend to sway our chest forward, and that won't give you the same release. If you engage that lower abdomen, you're going to really feel the beauty of the pose as a lower back opener. Coming forward, knees come together, big toes come together, big toe mounts, and then Bring your hands so they're shoulder width distance apart, a little bit of pedaling of your hands so that you can engage the whole hand. Rather than pressing just into the heel of the palm, you're actually going to use the triad of your palm. The part of your palm where the middle finger, pointer finger, and thumb form a triangle. That's the part that you're going to engage into the ground to press into and pull out of. Now slide your hips back over your heels. Make sure your heels are pulling toward one another so they line up with your sit bones, with your ischial tuberosities. And if it's comfortable for you, go ahead and tuck your chin, stretching the crown of your head toward a drishti between your thumbs, and then slide your shoulder blades down your back. On your next exhale, really draw in your lower abdomen, and then see if you can visualize melting down from the top of your sacrum to the tip of your tailbone. Three more breaths here. Revisiting your intention for your practice, or perhaps even choosing a new one now that you've added some movement into your body and breath. Walking your fingertips to your right, open up your left side body. Exhale, draw in your lower abdomen and see if that can help you to open up the left side body and compress the right side body a little bit more. Inhale to center and exhale, walking your fingertips in the opposite direction. Really pressing your right hip toward the wall behind you so that you can stretch open your side body and get some really beautiful length. Inhale back to center and tabletop. Knees or hips width distance apart. That means you can fit a generous fist between your knees. Hands are shoulder width distance apart, meaning you can fit a splayed hand between your two hands. Roll your shoulders down your back. Slightly tuck your chin and pull the crown of your head to the front of the room, getting some nice length for your cervical spine. And then draw your left ear to your left shoulder. Pull the right shoulder away from your right ear. And then right ear to right shoulder, pull the left shoulder away from your left ear. Inhale back to center. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Sit bones sweep up the wall behind you. Navel pulls to the floor. Collarbones pull forward. Chin lifts. Eyes crossed, nice big yawn. And inhale back to a nice centered tabletop pose. Exhale, compress your right side body, open up your left. Right shoulder pulling to right hip, left shoulder pulling away from your left ear. Arms stay straight so that the stretch goes into your rib cage symmetrically. In other words, the amount that you're compressing on one side is equal in a ratio to the amount you're opening up on the other. Inhale to center and exhale, compress in the opposite direction. Pulling your left ear to your left shoulder, sliding your right shoulder away from your right ear. Come back to center, pedal your hands just a little bit. And then coming back into hero's pose. Toes curl, heels press to the back of the room. Sit bones come down onto your heels if that's comfortable for you. If that's too much pressure on your knees, stay up like this. Either one's going to work beautifully because we're really looking at our hands more at the moment. Make sure your chest is lifted either way. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra, forearms parallel to the floor, and then invert one hand into the other. And when you're inverting one hand into the other, your fingertips line up with the wrist, and then the fingertips on the inverted hand wiggle. This brings blood flow to the carpal bones of your wrist and will help later on when we're transitioning through some of our poses where we put a little bit of movement through our wrist. And then change hands. And come back into your extended child's pose to start. Press into the triads of your hands. Bring your knees and feet hips width distance apart. And then inhale, press your heart towards your thighs, extending your front side body. Now press into the triads of your palm. That's the part of your palm where the middle finger, pointer finger, and thumb meet on the palm. Ignite your triceps, the muscles that go from the pointy part of your elbow to your underarm. Ignite those muscles to help push your shoulder blades as far down your back as they'll go. Curl your toes and exhale, down dog. First dog of the day, so you'll probably want to pedal your feet just a little bit to make sure that your hamstrings are warming up nicely and your ankles are warming up nicely. Continuing to push your weight more into your heels and hips and pull it out of your wrists and hands. Knees bend slightly. Inhale, pressing your heart towards your thighs. And on your exhale, walk your hands and feet together for ragdoll. Knees are slightly bent, body cascades over your thighs. Here's another one where that engagement of your lower abdomen will help you to release and relax your lower back. So exhale, pulling your navel towards your spine. Drawing your pubic bone towards your navel. And then let your jaw and neck relax as much as possible so the crown of your head pulls toward the floor. Release through your shoulders. 3 more breaths here. All 10 toes are pointing to the front of your mat. Feet are hips width distance apart. So you can fit a fist between your big toes and big toenails, a fist and a half between your heels. Knees will slightly bend as you bring your hands to your thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Back goes flat, crown of your head pulls to the front of the room. Engage your inner thighs. Feel how when you work as though you're trying to pull your thighs toward one another, and then rotate your thighs away from one another toward the back of the room just a little bit. You can draw up your arches and create a beautiful foundation. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Tadasana. Shoulders rock down your back. Chin is parallel to the floor. Wiggle your fingers just a little bit. Roll your wrist. Roll your wrist in the opposite direction. If you're feeling like your collarbones are drawing up towards your chin, make sure you have your shoulder blades down your back, and that's going to give you more room for breath. Press vigorously into your left foot and pull to the right. Inhale to center. Press vigorously into your right foot and pull to the left. Inhale to center. Come to Utkatasana, chair pose. Traditionally, your big toes touch, big toenails touch, and heels are about 2 fingers apart from one another. So if you try to pull your heels together, that's going to make your thighs really unhappy. Give your heels a little bit of space away from one another, and then you can pull the energy up. Once again, let's focus on engaging our lower abdomen. And just to really get the feel for it, make one hand a fist, and then cover that fist with your other hand, and bring the fist right between the pubic bone and the navel, and then exhale and push the fist in a little bit and bring it up. Can you feel that engagement? Inhale again. Inhale again. Beautiful. All right, great. That's just a nice way to really get what that boom feeling is that everyone talks about when they say, engage your Uddiyana You want to feel that good in that. Exhale and twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold. Little bit of foot pedaling. We're still waking up certain parts of our body. And now we're going to bring your palms down onto your mat. Walk your feet back so that you are in high plank. Shoulders slide down your back. Crown of your head pulls toward the wall in front of you, and press your heels back. Now, for those of you that want to do high side plank and you're familiar with it, you can stay where you are until we go into assisted side plank. For those of you that want to follow me through assisted side plank, go ahead and bring down your knees and forearms. Engage your Uddiyana Bandha. Pull your pubic bone to your navel. Pull the crown of your head to the wall in front of you. Slide your shoulder blades down your back. Bring your right fist to your right elbow and inhale, right side plank. Pulling your left fingertips to the ceiling, bending your right foot, bending your right leg so that the foot is as though it's trying to stand on the wall behind you. Now slide your shoulders down your back. Tuck your chin, press the crown of your head away from you, and then you can turn your gaze to your left thumb. We're going to hold this for 3 more breaths, and if you want to increase the intensity, you can lift your left leg. Continue to really engage your oblique muscles, the muscles on your side body, and engage your lower abdominal muscles. This makes the exercise distribute the work throughout your body more efficiently. And inhale back to assisted plank. Come all the way down. Bend your knees, tuck your chin, turn your head in either direction, and then roll your ankles. And slowly windshield wiper your knees from your feet from side to side. Make sure you get close enough to the ground that you feel the stretch across the front of your hip. That's going to help to stimulate those lymph nodes within the inguinal fold, the very top of your thigh, right before it becomes hip. That area has wonderful healing lymph nodes there that need this movement so they work more efficiently. And bring your feet back down, curling your toes. Slide your hands so that your thumbs are up underneath your fold of your underarm. Tuck your chin and then press back up, just lifting your front side body. Now, if you stayed in high plank for your transition last time, go ahead and go to high plank. If you worked within the modified version of side plank that we use, come down onto your forearms. Shoulders and hips are equidistant from the ground. And then bring your left fist to your right elbow. Slide your shoulders down your back. Engage your lower abdominals. Let that Uddiyana Bandha do the work for you, not your back. And they're going to work together if you engage your abdominal muscles. And with a nice breath in, pull your right fingertips to the ceiling, bend your left leg, and you want a nice straight line from your thumb to your shoulder. So from your right thumb to your right shoulder to left shoulder to elbow. All one nice line that's running perpendicular to the floor. And then tuck your chin and turn your head towards your right thumb if you're comfortable with that. We're going to stay here for 3 more breaths, and if you want to make it a little more challenging, lift your right leg. And inhale back to your assisted plank. Come back down. Turn your head in the opposite direction from the way you turned your head last time. Bring your knees wide on your mat this time. Roll your ankles. Roll them in the opposite direction. And then drop both feet in either direction and just let them rest there, letting the natural weight of your feet help to open up your hip joint. Inhale back to center, and exhale, drop in the opposite direction. Come back to center. Let the soles of your feet rest on one another. Slide your hands down so your thumbs are in alignment with the fold of your underarm. Roll your shoulder blades down your back. Pinch your elbows toward one another. And on your next exhale, press back into wide knee child's pose. Inhale to tabletop. Curl your toes. Exhale, walking your hands and feet together for forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Tadasana. Engaging your lower abdomen with the exhale. Exhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Shoulders roll back and down, hands come to heart center, 3 breaths here. Remember to engage your inner thighs. And the traditional setup for this is big toe touching, big toe mountain touching, heels 2 fingers apart. But if having your feet hips width distance apart works better for your bone-on-bone alignment, that's a wonderful option to take. It just means you have to engage your thighs a whole lot more. But when you bring them together, you can work it almost like a zipper, where it feels like you're pushing together and you're zipping right from the big toe, up your shin, up your thigh, all the way to your belly button. One more breath in. And then exhale, forward fold, front of your mat. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, high plank. Now feel free to chaturanga down if you're comfortable with that. Otherwise, you can just come all the way down onto the mat. If you are going to use chaturanga, make sure your elbows brush your side and that you're pulling your heart forward and down to keep your elbows nice and tight. Thumbs will line up somewhere between being right at your underarms down to just below the breast line. Elbows pull toward one another, chin tucks, crown of your head presses to the wall in front of you, and inhale, baby cobra. Pulling your heart forward, drawing your shoulders down your back. Engage your lower abdomen and feel how that takes the pressure out of your lower back simply by engaging your abdomen and trying to pull your belly button away from the mat beneath you. Exhale, come back down, forehead to the mat. Shoulders slide down your back, elbows pinch toward one another. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, come back down. Now this time you have a choice. You can do baby cobra or up dog. Inhale, up dog or baby cobra. Shoulders come down your back, chin slightly tucks, and then chin lifts. Collarbones pull forward, engage your lower abdominals, and see if you can relax your glutes a little. Now pull forward with your heart. Curl your toes under and exhale, down dog. Remember, in down dog, you want to pull your weight out of your hands. Your hands are shoulder width distance apart, and you're using your tricep muscles to pull the weight out of your hands. You're sliding your shoulder blades together and then as close to your mid-back as possible. Once again, engage your Uddiyana Bandha, engage your lower abdomen. Ha! And inhale, right heel presses to the back of the room. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right heel to the back of the room. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, right heel to the back of the room. And then exhale, bring your right foot all the way up to your right hand. Drop your left heel. Right toes are pointing to 12 o'clock. Left toes are pointing to 10 o'clock if they were on the face of a clock. Right foot is closer to the right side of your mat. Left foot is closer to the left side of your mat. Take a nice slow exhale. And then inhale, come all the way up to Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Arms come up overhead. Hips are blocking to the front of the room. So you want to make sure that you pull your left hip forward, right hip back. Right knee is directly over your right ankle. And weight goes into that back foot too. Everything's not, a lot of times it's really easy to kind of get caught in that going forward phase. You want to make sure you're nice and in alignment. Drop your shoulders. 3 breaths here, just to enjoy where you are. Focusing on relaxing your tongue and engaging your Uddiyana Bandha. Now, toe heel your front right foot, one toe heel closer to the left side of your mat. Slide your left big toe back, slide your left big toe back so that the outer blade of your back left foot is parallel to the back of your mat. And pull your right hand forward, left hand back. Shoulders drop. Now remember, if at any time during the practice you're starting to feel like your heart rate is going up more than you're comfortable with, just bring your arms down. Let yourself take a few breaths. If you feel like your heart rate needs to go up a little more, make sure you keep them up as much as possible. Shoulder blades lock down your back, chin is over your right shoulder. Tongue's relaxed, smiles are on, and rotate your front right palm to the ceiling. And then exalt your warrior. Feel free to smile whenever you want, and you don't have to smile just because I say it. But enjoy smiling as much as possible. It actually helps you to relax into your practice more if it's something that brings you joy. Keep engaging your lower abdominals. Feel how every time you let your mind come to engaging your lower abdominals, the whole rest of your body just gets happier. Nice deep breath in, or at least more relaxed into the pose, because it distributes the work more evenly. And then bring your front right forearm down to your thigh, left fingertips come to the ceiling first. Make a nice long line out of your body by pulling your left fingertips forward until you get a nice long line from your left middle finger through your shoulder to the outer blade of your back left foot. And inhale, come back to exalted. Exhale, frame your front foot, come all the way down into child's pose for 3 breaths to relax your lower back and just let your body recover a little bit. Now walk your hands out so your child's pose becomes an extended child's pose. Shoulder blades slide down your back. Toes curl. Feet or hips width distance apart. Take a nice long inhale to press your heart towards your thighs. And then exhale, straighten your legs coming into down dog again. Pedal your feet just a little bit. Make sure that you're using your upper body strength to pull the weight out of your wrists and push that weight towards your hips and heels. And inhale, straighten your left leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, left foot comes to left hand. Now, right now, you're in a nice low crescent lunge. Enjoy that for a moment, and then we'll start setting up our lower body for Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Make sure that your left foot is closer to the left side of your mat, right foot is closer to the right. Drop your right heel so that your right toe is pointing to about 2 o'clock if it were on the face of a clock, and your left toes are all pointing to 12. Left knee is directly over left ankle. And then on your next inhale, come all the way up. Engage your inner thighs to pull up on your arches. That's going to help with the foundation starting right from the very bottom. And now we'll go up to our next fulcrum, which is your hips. And you're going to engage the lower abdomen. And then make sure that you pull your right hip forward, left hip back. Shoulders come down your back. 3 breaths here just to enjoy this asana. Now toe heel your front left foot, one toe heel closer to the right side of your mat. Slide your right pinky toe back so the outer blade of your back right foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Pulling your left hand forward, right hand back. Feel your inner thigh engage. Now exhale, draw your pubic bone to your navel and engage your lower abdomen. And rotate your front left palm to the ceiling, exalting your warrior. Shoulders slide down your back, tongue relaxes. And now left forearm comes down to your left thigh, right fingertips come to the ceiling, shoulder blades slide down your back. Engage your inner thighs and then start to pull your fingertips toward the place on the wall in front of you where the wall and the ceiling come together. So your right arm's not going to be parallel to the floor. It's actually going to run at about a 45-degree angle depending on how wide your stance is. You're not resting into your forearm that's on your thigh. You're just using that to improve your balance. And inhale to exalt. Exhale, frame your front foot and come all the way back down into that wonderful child's pose. Walk your hands back towards your knees, back into hero's pose again. Hands come to Anjali Mudra and twist. Come back to center and twist. Come back to center. We're going to go into Dandasana, staff pose. Just simply bringing your heels out in front of you, pulling your toes towards your shin, lifting through your chest, engaging your lower abdomen. And now just pedal your feet a little bit. They've done a lot of work. And roll your wrist and roll them in the opposite direction. Interlace your fingers, press the palms away. And then press the back of your hands away. Roll your shoulders back and down. And then slowly come forward until you can rest your hands either right on your shins or your toes, whichever is more comfortable for you. Just coming forward and then exhaling to rest down. Now engage your Uddiyana Bandha again and see how that lets you come forward more comfortably. Inhale, roll back up again. And just like you were in a standing tree pose, we're going to do a forward fold with the same lower body setup. So bring your left foot in, place your left foot on your right thigh. Come back up again, and then twist away from your bent leg. Come back to center. Now take that foot, bring it over your straight leg. and twist in the opposite direction. Press the big toe mound of your left foot into the ground. Lift through your chest. Now exhale, draw in your lower abdomen and turn a little deeper. Inhale back to center. Bring your crossed leg in for a little hug. Out and down. Now pull in your right foot, placing it on your left shin or thigh, actually whichever one's more comfortable, but choose the one that you chose for your last expression so you're opening that symmetrically. Shoulders roll back and down, chin tucks, crown of your head presses to the ceiling, and exhale, hinge forward, inhale, exhale, cascade forward. Inhale, roll back up again. Turn away from your bent knee. Come back to center. Cross your foot over your straight leg. Press into your right big toe mound, lifting your chest and twisting away from the side that you just twisted to. In other words, right now you're twisting to your right side. Now focus on your exhale, drawing in your Uddiyana Bandha, your lower abdomen. See if you can twist a little deeper. When we engage the lower abdomen, it actually helps to create space in your lower back, which allows you to twist a little bit deeper, and therefore you're stimulating your internal organs more, and you're getting a better stretch for your entire body by engaging your lower abdomen. Inhale back to center. Bring the leg out, a little bit of moving, out and down, and then soles of your feet together for Baddha Konasana. Stir into your hips just a little bit. We've been working them pretty hard with our vinyasas today. And then coming into Supta Baddha Konasana, or reclining cobbler's pose. Come all the way down on your back, soles of your feet together. Walk your shoulder blades down your back, palms face the ceiling, and 3 breaths here, just to appreciate where you are in your practice today. Together, toe heel your feet so that they're nice and wide on your mat, and then drop both knees to your right, letting the right knee pull toward the wall to your right, left knee pull towards your left arch of your foot. Inhale back to center and drop in the opposite direction. Inhale back to center. Toe heel your feet so that your feet are now hips width distance apart. And then you're going to take your left ankle and place it on your right thigh. Place your right hand on your right thigh, left hand on your left thigh, gently pressing that thigh forward. This is very similar to pigeon pose that's usually done with your chest facing the floor. And so this reverse pigeon gives you that opening, but you're not using the full weight of your body, so it's a little bit more of a gentle opening. There are lots of variations of pigeon pose, and they're all wonderful hip openers. Just some are a little more gentle than others. Cross your left leg all the way over your right. Arms come out either to a T or cactus arms, whichever is more comfortable for you. And then drop both knees to your left, tucking your chin and turning your head to the right. Come back to center. Drop both knees to your right. Tuck your chin and turn your head to the left. Inhale back to center and uncross. And then place your right ankle on your left thigh. Left hand on left hip, right hand on right thigh. And gently work forward. And then cross your right leg all the way over your left. Bring your arms out either to cactus arms or to a T. Pull your pubic bone to your navel. And then first, drop both knees to your right, turning your head to the left. Come back to center. Drop both knees to your left, turning your head to the right. Inhale back to center, uncross your legs, bring both knees towards your chest and make 3 little circles in one direction and 3 little circles in the other, preparing your body for Shavasana. If you look up and see that I'm sitting up and not in corpse's pose, it's just so that I can make sure that I'm breathing appropriately and that you can hear the projection of my voice. But please, if everyone partaking in the practice would transition into corpse's pose now. Flat down on your mat, on your back. You might choose to put a small bolster underneath your knees or your head, and then walk your shoulder blades down your back. Press your heels away from you. Tuck your chin and press the crown of your head toward the wall behind you. Nice slow breath in to begin surrendering your body to gravity. Releasing tension, relaxing your tongue, shoulders, and hips. Allow your mind to observe your body and release. Relaxing from the crown of your head, down the back of your head, neck, shoulders, releasing tension from your upper arms, forearms, relaxing your wrists and palms, and letting the upper body tension just float out your fingertips. Draw your mind's eye back to the crown of your head. Releasing and relaxing. Letting go of tension from the crown of your head across your forehead and brow line. Relaxing your temples, ears, and jaw. Releasing tension from your eyes, softening your eyelids. Relaxing down the bridge of your nose and across your cheeks. Releasing and relaxing your lips and tongue. From the tip of your tongue down your throat with a slow swallow. Relax down the front of your neck and collarbones. Releasing your shoulders, chest, ribs, upper abdomen, navel, lower abdomen. Slow breath in to feel your torso expand. And as you exhale, release from your shoulders, down your shoulder blades, mid-back, and lower back. Relaxing the full circumference of your hips, especially from your sacrum to the tip of your tailbone. Releasing tension from your glutes, from your derriere. Relaxing down your hamstrings and calves, down the back of your thigh, all the way down to your heel. Relaxing across the front of your thigh, your quadriceps, releasing tension from your knees, shins, and the top of your feet. Slow breath in, and as you exhale, let any remaining tension simply drift out the tips of your toes. Allowing yourself to completely be in Shavasana, physically and mentally. Bring your mind, breath, and body back to this present moment. A little bit of movement of your fingers and toes, rolling your wrists and ankles. Draw the soles of your feet onto your mat. And traditionally one comes onto their right side for the fetal position after Shavasana. But if you know it's more comfortable for you to be on your left, feel free to choose your left. Either way, windshield wiper your knees back and forth until you can create some momentum to make going into side-lying fetal position as comfortable as possible. And by side-lying fetal position, I mean your knees are slightly towards your chest, you're on your side, and traditionally you use your bicep of the lower arm against your temple as a place to rest your head. Enjoy one more breath here. And then use your upper arm, palm flat on the ground, to help bring you into an easy seated position. Hands coming to heart center. Peace be with you. Namaste. Thank you all so much for being here and doing this.